think we have it going. Yeah. Welcome back to Key Philosophies, where we will be going headlong into some paradigms that are out of this world. And we're going there because, well, everybody else is, and we can't be left behind, can we? Better off to try and forge our own way in a world of pseudo disclosure by intel agencies, that want to say things a certain way. And, this really, this reading of this type of material is really just for reference because it'll be interesting what they come out with in regards to our space brothers and our place in the universe, as it were. So we're into Valdamar Valarian's book, Matrix 2, which dealt with alien abductions and unexplained aerial phenomena, various quote unquote disclosures of various time periods. This book was dated 1992. So there's been a lot of information come out before. Everything from alien technology to bodies found and um, different, majestic documents and others. And so this particular volume, Matrix 2, goes over a lot of that material in a very succinct way. It hits on everybody a little bit, and um, well, all we can do is see what it says, and you can tell me what you think. Why the government simplifies aliens into only a few types, good and bad. Acknowledgement of great variety of aliens would promote a sense of powerlessness and of fear, a sense of being ganged up on, and a loss of a sense of easy insulation and safety, unable to discern the varieties of aliens to any effective degree. So, better to make it simple to have fewer categories than really exist, to be more digestible by humans in power or in general. Reveals they made pacts or agreements with possibly the wrong group, and they might not want to admit that. These pacts or agreements and interactions with the gov want the government to think all aliens that exist are part of or subordinate to the one alien group. This reduces chances the government will interact with other aliens and possibly compromise the goals of the aliens with which they have a pact. Is this Ashtar Command? Is this member of the New Age groups seem to worship or revere, at the very least, these supposed contacts? Acknowledgement of variety supports openness and influence to create wider interaction with more races, and that represents less control. On top of that, the government does not know who to ally with, even if current pacts and allied aliens are known to be malevolent, especially since aliens show fantastic ability to deceive and manipulate. Example, the good guy, bad guy, but both really are bad. You know that old shtick. Before the government knows for certain who is good and bad, it is better to not reveal the variety that exists. Stating that variety without conclusion as to who is to be trusted and who is not will indicate impotence and inability of the government to govern humanity's relationship with the alien presence. It only aggravates the situation as being yet more out of control. Admittedly, variety will induce a higher or lower degree of fight or flight response among humanity. If higher, then out of control anarchy; if lower, then out of control insanity response. Both are not acceptable, and that both produce greater social confusion and unmanageability. This is from the supposed top secret apotheosis of 1989, Nexus 7. Admitting great variety might produce a wide range of factionalized or factionalization among human social groups that would make government ability to uniformly ally humanity against for aliens more difficult, against or for aliens. Cohesion, basically. Since variety is an opening for a multiple individualistic and complex array of possible viewpoints among humans. Admitting to variety could produce a situation where the aliens, in their deceptive capability, could deceive larger segments of humanity as to their benevolence, precisely because the government acknowledged that any aliens who were grays were benevolent, i.e., the malevolent grays would take advantage of this, even though, possibly true, benevolent grays exist. Possibly. Possible uses of fear by the secret government and aliens. Possible uses of fear in the suppression of alien presence by the secret government. Make people in the know fear for their life if they were to tell. Reduce people's resolve to release or to promote information. Generate confusion as to priority or value of releasing or promoting the existence of certain information. Use fear as a motivator to keep people allied to the government, and secondarily use fear to assist the uncertainty and ability to discern the entire strategy or truth. Make people understand or get through to them using fear as a inculcation medium. Load information to cause paranoia. Development response to be fearing even that which does not exist. Getting people to imagine all kinds of horrors, fates, and nastiness about the government or aliens as an expected consequence to their releasing information or following the certain lines of inquiry. Induce fear by a periodic injection of threat to effectively have people gradually or suddenly lose their sense of sanity, spiritual center, or security of home, freedom, or privacy, among other things. Possible uses of fear by aliens to motivate or control target humans and human groups, to disrupt security of current belief systems, and their sense of safety in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual domains of concern. Yeah, excuse me. Anyway, to induce a sense of powerlessness and thereby produce submission and effective paralysis of human action that could threaten the aliens. To see what effects and behavior are consistent with fear in observed targeted subjects. Learn about effects, causes, impacts of fear in humans and experimental see how they run usage. Use fear as a medium to impress new conditioning and programming to take root at a deep level. Use of fear can motivate target subjects toward new target beliefs and attitudes and thoughts. Promote understanding in a force controlled emotive manner. Fear can affect profound enough change in mental state and dynamics so as to reduce the sense of available choice and empowerment to such a degree that beyond mere increased pliability of the target subject, the desire of the subject to escape the anxiety and fear energy or frequencies will translate into a desire to obviate fear through transmuting the emotive energy into its antithesis, a sense of belonging and safety. Thus, fear is usable as a covert emotional allegiance and association induction technique. That's Hegel right there. That's thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Fear is more readily predictable, controllable, and functionally effective for alien purposes than human emotions such as anger or love, or indifference or hurt. Alien spiritual deception stratagem revisited. Humans have spiritual characteristics that are unique to humans, and humans have relationships with aspects of their own being or entities and beingness beyond themselves, such as the higher self, a god, goddesses, guides, etc., which all are not alien. This is natural. This is a natural, evident characteristic of human existence and evolution and spiritual development as souls in physical bodies. Aliens who are malevolent would find it possible to manipulate the human natural, evolutionary, and spiritual characteristics for their own purposes, and the most obvious means to effect this manipulation would be to attempt to divert human spiritual development, subvert it in a manner to allow greater alien control of human spirituality and spiritual power. The clearest means to effect this subversion would be to produce an exteriorization of spiritual development relationships that humans normally evolve, away from the natural interior, internal spiritual course of development. This exteriorization is best effected by setting up a singular or multiple embodiment of an exteriorized version or facsimile of what humans relate to previously only within themselves or within all things, and no particular exclusive agent or go-between. This go-between strategy, if effected as follows: get people to reference spirit through a particularized formal embodiment of spiritual, for instance, a Jesus Christ, a Krishna, a Muhammad, a Confucius, or Buddha, have this spiritual power and speak and perform actions and statements that are closely consistent with that of human believed what humans believed previously, and on an internal basis or on a non-specific basis. In other words, to get people to mistakenly ID this embodiment as the true manifestation of what previously was only within or non-specific. Over time and ages, based on the now exteriorized specific embodiment relationship patterning that has been achieved. Slowly alter and manipulate and change the characteristics of that spirit embodiment to serve the malevolent alien purposes or goals, so that people will buy periodic appearances of angels, gods, Mother Marys, saints, etc., as the real spirit becoming manifest to communicate, be savior, establish exclusive dominion, and reinforce allegiance. These stages appearances are, of course, alien agents acting out a role that meet people's expectations. With the exteriorization of spirit embodiment's character and person process sufficiently reinforced, have the agent promote that it will do it for you, take care of you, save you, forgive you, allow you passage into heaven only through them, of course, all of which effectively removes and disempowers people's personal sovereign relationship to their God within, to only function as a relationship through the agent. This process reduces the chances that human spiritual development and empowerment will occur in a manner that is out of control from the point of view of the aliens. This process creates a means whereby the aliens can easily, with voluntary and eager subjects, inculcate alien chosen imprints, conditioning, programming at a deep level, since spiritual issues from the core of human conscious power and growth, thus providing aliens with a means to surreptitiously preempt human spiritual empowerment that the aliens might perceive could be used against them, or alternatively provide humans or aliens with a means to gather and use their human spiritual power to their own ends, which the aliens have not really developed for themselves, i.e., they have a parasitic spiritual relationship. This may be consistent with alien standard species control approaches, which they may even be subject to themselves. The worker bee, one queen bee hive relationship. This allows the aliens to have a most powerful means to use human religions to control and play with and subjugate and experiment with other alien races and groups who are ignorant of Earth's religious contrivances. The key effects that is the key effect that is perpetuated is the singular exterior savior that corrupts individual conscious beings' empowerment and individualistic spiritual dominion of one's own life and reality. This can possibly, therefore, be an effective use of Earth and Earth religions as a galactic level effective control tool, and humans are the unwitting agents and pawns in the propagation of the fundamental deception and lie of exteriorized, exclusive character of spirit. Only through me can you be saved. Thus, humans are only a unwitting player in an inter-alien game of power and control via this religious savior ploy. The non-interference law, hypothesis relating to human contacting Earth. Hmm. So I would say, thus far, we have a very Gnostic section of this release here. It very much relates to the Gnostic view, the view of, say, Christ through the the view again of the Gospel of Thomas, which was very different from the eschatological Jesus Christ that we see in the evangelical movement. Well, tell me what you think so far, and I will be back another time in another place. Thank you very much. Give it a like if you like, and all that jazz. Have a good day.